People often confide in me that they are trapped in what has become a hopeless pursuit, toiling over a doomed project, desperately trying to mend a broken relationship, or attempting to undo the irreversible. I frequently pondered the root cause of this behavior. As we all know, sometimes the best solution for unsuccessful efforts is to simply let go. However, when deciding whether to persevere or abandon what we are undertaking, we are caught between opposing forces. We often feel compelled to choose between two extremes: stubborn persistence or premature surrender, none of which is sensible. Continuing to fight for the bitter end or giving up without trying are both draining and distressing. We tend to romanticize perseverance in the face of the intractable. Those who never give up are seen as heroic. Conversely, those who give up too soon are branded as failures. Many of us have squandered precious portions of our lives struggling against the unyielding. As a psychiatrist, I firmly believe that one of my duties is to help patients discern when to stop trying. One way is to look beyond the good reasons, the subjective and often self-deceptive point of view, and to uncover the real reasons, the complex, more objective factors underlying the issue. When we decide to stop trying, we should consider what distinguishes the difficult from the hopeless. What is the difference between a strategic retreat and a failure? These questions lie at the heart of much anguish over fruitless struggles. Naturally, it feels wrong to quit something you've invested so much into. There never seems to be a right or good time to stop trying. How can you know if all your effort was in vain? Try this exercise. Compare the time you've spent with the tangible and real results. This isn't straightforward, but it's still possible. In other words, don't focus on the future. It's always elusive and uncertain. Look at the past. Examine your investments and the yield. This simple exercise often leads to a startling realization. Could it be that so much of your life, time, and energy has been invested with such disappointing results? I often think of the cartoon character who in haste continues to run in thin air after overrunning a cliff. Only when the character looks down, realizing its predicament, does it plummet. This bizarre cartoon logic is actually quite prevalent. Many continue to run on thin air, not daring to look at reality for fear of falling. Of course, some struggles can never be deemed useless. Such is the struggle of parents for their children. Parents cannot give up. We are genetically conditioned to forgive our children and continue to support them. Sometimes the struggle may yield no results other than the knowledge that the parent has tried everything possible. This knowledge in itself is worth the struggle and provides parents with unyielding energy. Another example is those who dedicate their lives to pursuits larger than themselves, who engage in political, ideological, or similar struggles. In these instances, the struggle itself is the goal, and therefore cannot be considered hopeless. Fortunately, most of us do not need to sacrifice our life for a sick child or a particular ideology. Our life's ordinary futile struggles occur in what might be called the two Freudian spheres: love and work. Ask yourself, does your romantic partner warrant the excessive energy you spend hoping for happiness in your relationship one day? Should you spend a significant portion of your only life trying to succeed in a career you are clearly unhappy with? Let's sharpen the focus. Here you are in charge of your only life. Even if you believe in reincarnation, this is the only life you have as yourself. Yet, you discard chunks of your life, your precious life, days, months, and years on something or someone that depletes your well-being, causes you pain, and seems immutable. What could be the reasons for such an unhelpful behavior? Here are some possible reasons. You dislike yourself and secretly feel you deserve this life of punishment. You are an optimist, hoping against hope that your efforts somehow eventually will succeed. You don't perceive or realize the futility of your efforts. You believe ideologically, culturally, or philosophically in suffering. You believe in effort for the sake of effort. For you, trying harder, regardless of the result, is satisfying in itself. You have extraneous reasons beyond your control. Family ties, various debts, a deep sense of duty, etc. You feel ideologically compelled to prioritize sacrifice for others over your own needs, always putting yourself last. You believe that your life should be one of service, no matter the context. You enjoy being a martyr, feeling sorry for yourself and or receiving pity from others. I'm sure there are more reasons than that. Typically, it's a combination of many of the above. My work has taught me that we are largely irrational beings. Our logical presentation to ourselves and the world around us is merely the tiniest tip of the iceberg. The complex you in all trillion upon trillions of cellular activities is silently happening below the surface, ever present but not conscious. If you had to consciously operate even a trillionth of your cellular activity, you wouldn't survive even a split second. But the subconscious activity is not an autopilot. In fact, often the conscious you is more likely to operate on automatic predictability. The cellular activity, the unfathomable iceberg, is constantly piloted, fine-tuned by our nervous system and by the cells themselves. In the context of this astonishing, wondrous machinery given to us at birth, we are like a goat trying to operate a space shuttle. Not only are we unhelpful, but we are often an outright interference to our harmony and equilibrium. We consume and exhale and inhale man-made toxins, rest too little, worry and stress too much over petty issues, get outraged by what will soon be forgotten. Fortunately, our body's resilience has the power to repair, at least to an extent. However, our body rightfully does not trust us. It allows us to focus only on a very narrow band of attention. And in nature at large, what we do with ourselves doesn't really matter. But you will never be replicated. Not even 1 second of your life can be retrieved, repeated, or lived again. This is the question we should ask ourselves every day. Does my life, my only life, my one-time existence as myself make sense to me? Does it make sense to me? Don't be afraid. You are not a cartoon character running on thin air. And looking down will not make you fall into an abyss. You have enough defense mechanisms to soften the blow of the answer. You will be able to ask yourself these follow-up questions. If something in my life doesn't make sense, what is it? What is the price I pay for not examining this question? What can I do to change what doesn't make sense? How can I live with the change? Admittedly, this line of questioning is best pursued in the therapist's office. Why? Because a therapist can help you stay honest and prevent you from disappearing into another layer of myth and self-lies that helped you sustain unnecessary suffering. We often lack the courage to face ourselves alone. A good therapist is the right companion and guide for this particular journey. There you are, holding the steering wheel of your life in your hands, looking into the future with a mix of excitement and fear. At long last, you're navigating your life on a trajectory that minimizes the negative and maximizes the positive. That simple and obvious concept always proves to be better than what you thought.